Good morning. Welcome, everyone. My name is Katie Bergen, and I have the privilege as working as the head of the lower school here at Marymount. We have a fantastic morning planned for you, so I will begin with just a brief word of welcome. Thank you for your time this morning amidst the rain. During this season of Advent, I've been thinking about the concept of time, of waiting, of expectation. So while you consider this important decision of where to send your daughter to kindergarten, you may be thinking of time as well. Time in terms of years, since this is potentially a 13-year commitment you are considering. But I encourage you also to think in terms of hours. Your child will come to spend more hours at Marymount than she does at home. I know it is hard to imagine at this young age, but I can tell you that in the blink of an eye, my daughter, who started at Marymount in kindergarten, is already in class 11. Between her classes and sports, she often doesn't get home until 7 o'clock at night, and in those hours she is away, I know she is surrounded by teachers who believe and challenge her, coaches who push her to develop her skills, by an advisor who knows her as a whole child, and of course, she is with her dear friends. My husband and I feel blessed that she spends her hours with such outstanding educators in this amazing community of Marymount. Now think about who you want your daughter to be surrounded by in the years ahead. I'm sure you want your daughter to be with teachers who know and love her. I can tell you every single lower school teacher at Marymount loves children. Sure, they all have advanced degrees and impressive credentials, but none of that matters unless you have a genuine love in your heart for children. We promise that we will get to know and amplify the unique gifts and talents of your daughter, help her to determine her areas of interest, and open the door to a lifelong love of learning. My wish for you is that you get to enjoy every moment with your daughter during this magical holiday season. Treasure this time together. Thank you again. You will now have the opportunity to hear from a few members of our community who will share reflections on their time at Marymount. Before you head downstairs to learn even more about the people, our incredible faculty, and programs that make Marymount so special. Without further ado, I'm pleased to introduce you to two of our Class 2 students who will share with you what they love about Marymount. Coco and Emmy, take it away.
Did you know Hazel Yang Lee was the first Chinese-American girl pilot to fly in the military? Did you know Dr. Mae Jemison was accepted into NASA's astronaut program on June 4th, 1987? Did you know Eugenie Clark loved sharks and wanted to study sea life? Other people told her she couldn't, but she was the smartest in her class, worked hard, and became an important shark scientist. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Coco. And I'm Emmy, and we're in Class 2 at Marymount. As Ms. Birkin said, we're here to share our favorite part of our Marymount journey so far, science. First off, we spend time each month learning about STEAM superstars, women like Hazel Yang Lee, Dr. Mae Jemison, and Eugenie Clark, who inspire us with their courage, determination, perseverance, and love of science. Coco, what are some of your favorite memories from Class 2 science? Emmy, I made a list and it's too long to share all of them right now. But some of my absolute favorites are opening a pumpkin and looking at the seeds, planting basil and watching it grow, and lots of cooking chemistry. Yum. One time, after watching caterpillars grow, I remember Miss Holton releasing the butterflies into Central Park from her hands. That was magical. What are some of your favorite memories, Emmy? Oh yeah, I remember teaching chemistry too. We made popsicles and they were delicious. Actually, Coco, some of my most favorite memories are from the past few weeks in Class 2 science. We've been learning about electricity and science, and I've loved building circuits. I really loved adding the motors to my circuit because we were able to make mini tickle machines with them. Speaking of mini tickle machines, we are both looking forward to a special Class 2 event called the Invention Convention. After learning about electricity and the design process, we will spend a whole week in January designing and building our own invention ideas. It's called Invention Takeover Week, and we spend the entire week in science and STEAM classes. We will interview real-life inventors and entrepreneurs, build prototypes of our invention ideas, and then record a commercial to share our inventions with one another. I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to meeting all the inventors. Me too. I'm also looking forward to building my invention idea. Let's end our speech now so we can show our audience a clip of last week's Invention Convention.
Get back to work! No complaining! I'm so exhausted. Work is so boring. I wish I could be back on vacation. Then you should try the new vacation headphones. These special headphones can help you recreate a vacation experience at your desk. They massage your ears, play lovely island music, make your desktop look like a beach, and even put the sweet smell of coconut oil under your nose. Wow, that's amazing! I really feel like I'm back at the beach at Hawaii. You can feel like you're on vacation every single day of your life with the relaxing vacation headphones. Buy them today!
Thank you.
Good morning, all. My name is Elizabeth Jordan, and I'm a senior at Marymount. 13 years ago, my parents were sitting in those red chairs, listening to another student share her Marymount story. I wonder if my mom and dad knew that someday an 18-year-old me would be the one standing at this podium. As I prepare for college and enter a new chapter in my education, I can't help but reflect on all the ways that Marymount has helped me explore my interests and discover who I am. Every student has a Marymount story, and mine began in this very building. Chapter 1, Lower School. I can still remember the first time I walked up the Fifth Avenue steps for my first day of kindergarten. I was dressed in the ever-fashionable blue pincord jumper and saw Mrs. Alvar standing at the door to greet me with her signature handshake and smile. That was probably the first time I shook anyone's hand, and at that moment, I knew what it meant to be welcomed into the Marymount community. The next few years were ones of joyful discovery, and this building quickly became my second home. It was here where I learned how to read and write in cursive. On this very stage, I took an Irish step dancing class. And at one point, I even represented Marymount in a chess tournament. The chess trophy I won sits on my desk to this day. Which brings us to Chapter 2, Middle School, where I had even more opportunities to develop as a budding scientist and engineer. In 4th grade, our STEAM classes distributed Little Bits kits to each student. These modular electronics teach students the basics of circuitry and robotics. It was the perfect combination of technology and creativity, and I was hooked. When New York One came to record a segment highlighting Marymount's STEAM program, I was a featured student. Someone asked me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I responded confidently with, "I think I want to work at NASA." In 5th grade, my career plans changed when I ran for president of student council. Although it was a close vote, the Jordan party prevailed, and I got to spend a year coordinating with the head of the middle school, organizing student events, and being a voice for the people. My teachers recognized my enthusiasm for public speaking, and they encouraged me to audition for Seussical, the musical. I landed the pivotal role of Horton the Elephant, and my love of musical theater was born. In upper middle school, I discovered my love of history the moment my 6th grade history teacher, Mr. Betts, reenacted Hannibal's crossing of the Alps by walking across the classroom tables. And even though I consider myself a humanities gal, I remember having the time of my life in 8th grade biology when Miss Genter showed us how to extract DNA from a banana. Which brings us to chapter 3, upper school. This one's a page turner. In my freshman year humanities class, we were expected to hone in on a topic from an ancient civilization, meet with a faculty advisor to develop a thesis, and ultimately come up with a performative way to share the research with our entire grade. When I handed my initial proposal to my history teacher, Dr. Cunningham, she pushed me to fine-tune my topic and dig deeper. So I buried myself in books and papers online, searching for whys instead of settling for whats. After 2 months, I produced a script written in English and Latin that illustrated the various economic transactions done by the Argentari, or Roman bankers, in the Hadrian period. By challenging me to explore further, Dr. Cunningham taught me a lesson that I will carry with me throughout my academic career. To really learn is to go beyond what is expected, taking advantage of everything. I continued to develop my voice on the Marymount stage, and in my junior year, I was cast in the lead role of the baker's wife in Stephen Sondheim's Into the Woods. Early in the rehearsal process, my director, Miss P, told me to make bold choices. I learned that whether it's in the tone of a line or a choice to walk a certain way, it's important to act with full confidence, a lesson that resonates with me on and off the stage. Stepping into my leadership roles as an art student, I became the president of Drama Club and co-founded Marymount's first ever film club. This club led me to my current internship through a Marymount mom at the BBC Studios under their digital media and business franchise department. And here we are, the final chapter, senior year. I'm taking some awesome classes like Advanced American Literature, AP Calc, Engineering, and Advanced Latin Prose. I've been fortunate enough to take advantage of leadership opportunities as a captain of the soccer team, a PAL mentor to incoming freshmen, a National Honor Society tutor, and the president of Marymount Singers. Oh, and yeah, I'm also applying to college. It's an intricate juggling act that allows me to do everything I've always wanted to do. It's the culmination of my 13-year-long journey of learning and discovery. It's my Marymount story, and I don't know how it ends, but writing it has been the greatest adventure of all. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Virginia and I'm in class 5.
Hi, I'm Franny and I'm in class 1. I'm Mary and I'm in class 4.
We're very excited to introduce you to our mom.
Our mom is really strong and really nice. I like to snuggle with my mom.
Our mom works really hard and she's very focused. She was a Jefferson Scholar, studied engineering and business, and now she works at Morgan Stanley.
Yes, she's a boss. She's very committed to her work. She likes learning a lot and teaching me Russian math. If one of us is feeling sad, she'll try her hardest to make us happy. And our mom loves Marymount. She's good at managing 3 children, even though it's really wild in our house. Please welcome our mom, Rebecca Dorian.
Thank you, ladies. That was an amazing introduction. I'm a little bit caught off guard. Thank you, you're awesome. And thank you to my husband for being here and supporting me. I hope I can grow up and be as cool as you ladies are, really. Okay, so I'm a little nervous, I will admit. This is not my MO to stand up in front of a room full of people and give a speech. So when I look back and think about what it was like 6 years ago when I sat in those red seats, I can say in consolation with you guys that you are probably as nervous as I am. To say the kindergarten application process is stressful is an understatement, because let's really be honest here. While you're sitting there in a beautiful mansion on 5th Avenue listening to me, some part of your brain is obsessing over thoughts like, if Susie doesn't get into school X, then she'll never get into Harvard, and she'll end up unemployed, and she'll be homeless. Right? You guys know I'm right, I thought those thoughts too. But please, for the next few minutes, while you're here, and while you're at other schools too, try to block out those thoughts. And try to notice the little things. At every school, your daughter will get an amazing education. So the decision on which school to choose for your family will ultimately boil down to the little things. The smiles in a first grade Spanish class, particularly impressive upper school student, or maybe just a feeling you get in the place. If you're able to tune out those crazy thoughts in your head and open your eyes, mind, and yes, heart to what the best school is for your child and your family, then you won't make a wrong choice. Which brings me back to me and Marymount and our family's decision. I married into a Marymount family with sisters-in-law and nieces who attended, but Jimmy and I were actually skeptical going into the process. He thought Marymount was just too easy of a choice for us, and I just thought we should keep our minds open. Between our two oldest daughters, we looked at 7 schools, and they were all fantastic. I remember this very event too, as an applicant. The speaker was a father of 4, and at some point in his presentation, his youngest 3-year-old son enthusiastically bounded on the stage and interrupted. And then he did it again and again. And in front of 200 applicant families, Miss Bergen and Miss Alvar patiently and lovingly escorted the child to his seat. And shortly thereafter, his father gave a fabulous overview of this place. I watched this unfold and I thought to myself, how intentional is this? And what kismet do we have to have seen it? Because I just learned in 15 seconds basically everything I needed to know about Marymount. Number 1, children come first. Number 2, the community is united by core values. And number 3, ultimately excellence follows. Around the same time, Virginia toured Marymount, and she proudly exclaimed to me, "Mom, I don't know why you're making me look at other schools. I am going to Marymount." Through the years, I've often thought about why she felt so strongly as a 5-year-old. Now, I think it's simple. In a world where sound bites and hashtags and all sorts of other crazy incentives seem to drive leadership agendas from business to education, I can happily say that in our family's experience, Marymount leads with the old-fashioned yet tried and true value of doing what is right for the girls. And many times that means what is right for a particular child. For one child, a warm and tempered approach leads, but perhaps her sister would benefit from a challenge. I'm looking at you, Mary. And I'll just say what everyone else says. Marymount is a warm and lovely school. Yes, it is. It is a place where I know my daughters get an extra hug and snuggle when they need it. A place where the teachers know when I'm traveling, whether I tell them or not. And even better, spend a little extra time with my girls when I am. I'm not sure how lovely became a bit of a backhanded compliment in the city, but I will emphatically tell you that this school is more than lovely. It is filled with love. The Marymount administration, teachers, and families are united in a community that leads with love for these girls. The examples are endless. Lower school teachers send personalized and handwritten letters over the summer to introduce themselves and to welcome each girl to their classes. A 5th grade classmate and her father spent multiple hours at Jimmy's dad's wake on a summer day and their moving day. A lower middle school teacher who played Ivy League lacrosse counsels our oldest on how to navigate academic and extracurricular responsibilities. And I'll never forget a particularly harried day when Miss Bergen pulled me aside to let me know she had heard our nanny had quit, and we were welcome to bring the girls in early until we could find a replacement. I could go on and on. Often when people ask me what I think about Marymount, I'll say, it's a place that understands that life is messy and embraces the mess. If you know your child is going to be perfect or you've got this parenting thing all figured out, then maybe pick another school because it'll be a waste here. But if you think your life could get messy and maybe something less than ideal could happen at some point, then I can't imagine a better place to be. Or as a colleague and now current Marymount parent said to me after his tour, I like that place. There's a little sawdust on the floor. So notice the sawdust. It's there for a reason, I promise. And ultimately, the magic of this place is if you lead with putting children first and you create a community of love, you are left with a fertile ground for academic excellence. The girls are supported. They aren't forced into a particular path or on a particular timeline. They are surrounded by powerful female leaders, the administration, their mothers, and each other. who celebrate their differences and encourage them to try new things. Virginia is a math and history lover. She is a leader on her travel volleyball team, a lector at St. Thomas More, an avid cartoonist. She enjoys working with her hands and has recently asked us to find a woodworking class for her to join. She loves inventing and design, but also loves babies and is an animal whisperer. Her friends and classmates include water polo players, the 55th top-ranked girls chess player in the country, dancers in the New York City Nutcracker, and competitive ski racers. Mary loves math and reading, especially Harry Potter, fashion, and most of all, her friends. A wicked gamer and puzzler, she's always a top draft pick for family game night. Rising to any challenge, she tackles the complex math and logic problems of the week and often finishes them faster than me. She helped Marymount win a third place finish in the state chess tournament last month. Her friends and classmates include dancers in the first ever opening act for the Rockettes Christmas Spectacular, the Extra Credit Crew, a group who happily aims to do the most extra credit and earn the right to teach a science class. Hey Mary, remind me how many Earths can fit inside Saturn? 750, okay, thank you. And last but definitely not least, Frances is the sweetest girl who completed our family. She loves her family and she loves chocolate. She's fast and strong and has just started lacrosse with her friends on the weekends. She's working on her chess game so she can join Mary at Marymount tournaments. And she always makes us smile. A budding comedian, she loves to read funny things, joke books and silly books, and anything that talks about butts. Yes, Frances, I just said butts on stage. We don't know what she's going to be interested in next, or what she'll do or be, other than an excellent version of herself. I'm confident all our daughters will be excellent because they are in a place where they can be themselves and take risks. They are raised not only by Jimmy and myself, but by the community of Marymount around them. They are supported and are surrounded by teachers and administrators and families who care about them. And they aren't afraid to make a little mess, make a mistake, or spill their drink. That's what the sawdust is for. Thank you.
That is what I call real. This place is real. Boy, this is a hard act to follow. From the littlest to the mom of 3 who holds a very busy job and a very busy travel schedule. But when we invited her to come and speak, she says, in a heartbeat, I will be there. So thank you, Becca. Wow. What a testament to our beloved school and a sacred partnership that we make with families. Good morning, everyone. My name is Concepcion Alvar, and I am the proud headmistress of this dynamic place of learning and teaching. For over 3 decades now, it has been my privilege to walk alongside some of the most amazing educators that you can find out there, and also families who knew what they wanted, sawdust especially. The shared responsibility of raising children is not left to you, is not left to us, but it is our sacred partnership that develops good human beings. Our founder, Mother Marie Joseph Butler, opened our doors in 1926 with a bold mission to raise women who will challenge, shape, and change the world. You've heard from the little ones here, and you've heard from Elizabeth. I think our country, our state, our world would probably be better if we have some of these voices heard in those public policy rooms and boardrooms. In the almost 98 years since Marymount doors opened, we remain committed to our mission that we are here to work with you, to work with families who value a very special part of raising children. While we are rooted in our Catholic traditions, we intentionally recruit families of other faiths, but families who believe in helping build a community of faith and hope. building a family, a community where children are encouraged to explore questions of personal integrity, ethical decision-making, and social justice. We also believe in creating a teaching learning environment that is dynamic, where the educational leaders nurture girls who can drive their own learning, who can take risks, who pursue passions, who can ask challenging questions, and who will grow in confidence and conviction every step of the way, because this is a place where mistakes are considered a part of the learning process. Our mission is to educate the hearts and minds, and in this pursuit, we go beyond what is obvious. We sustain the children's innate gift of curiosity. We encourage exploration and open-ended adventures. We recognize, the look in their eyes, the look of awe and wonder, and we celebrate that. We applaud discoveries, especially surprise discoveries. We model for these children what it means to be fearless and courageous. We honor spontaneity and play and inventions. We figure out how to work together. We learn to negotiate, inspire, and compromise. We listen to one another. We include everyone in the conversation. We ask questions, and we answer questions with more questions. And we expand choices in front of them, and we problem solve together. Most of all, we let our imaginations soar. How do we ensure that these habits of the heart and mind are at the forefront of a Marymount education? How do we do this? We hire the finest educators whose training, experience, skills, and knowledge inspire lifelong lovers of learning. More importantly, these incredible educators fully understand that education is not a sprint, but it's not a sprint with a limited goal, but it is a journey that should continue to go on and on, way beyond their years here at Marymount. It is more than a score that you get in an SAT or an ACT exam, or a particular college, or a particular GPA. We believe that education is a journey with beautiful chapters to go through. And these spirited chapters are found in every division, the lower school, the lower middle school, the upper middle school, and of course the upper school, where the habits of the heart and mind are continuously nourished. You and I do not know what job awaits your child. There are many jobs that have yet to be created, and we can see that now. How much more, when Coco and Emmy are, finally get into their college years and figure out what's next. But what we do know is that if we are to be true to our calling, to our ministry, that it is so important that our partnership with you remain real and true and trusting. We partner with you in educating your child because we have a moral obligation to recognize the gifts that your children bring. They're born with the gifts that come from your families. How do we hone this? We hone this together so that they can develop into competent, confident, collaborative, and compassionate human being. And that power to challenge, shape, and change the world through the bold and brave leadership. So that's a sacred task. And this is a task that we do not take lightly. Marymount is a positive, organic, always growing, and very intentional place where children learn and grow to take their rightful place in areas where girls particularly are underrepresented, whether it's in science or finance or medicine or engineering or out there in space or in the theater or in the schools, but perhaps more importantly, in leadership positions in the government, in the boardrooms where public policies affect the future of a city, a state, a country, the world. We're privileged to share this sacred responsibility and build upon our glorious past and look toward a future with clarity. I often think about Mother Butler. 1926, what was she thinking when she said, the purpose of this school is to educate the heart and mind? She knew that intellectual arrogance can bring you nowhere. Unless you develop both the heart and the mind, you do not have a good human being, a good contributor to society. In a few short months, we begin a new chapter again in our history, opening our doors to our second permanent home. I promise you, you'll get an invitation to come see that place as well. This is a building that was built during the COVID years, and it provides us with 155,000 square foot of learning, teaching and learning, giving us the space that all the programs that you heard the children talk about, finally the room or the space that they deserve. From the theater to the fab lab, fabrication lab, to the Bloomberg room, the Bloomberg lab, to the gym, which is actually fitted with the full spectrum of the fitness center, to a rooftop where they will be learning about Shakespeare, and maybe they will be doing some of those discussions about how the world can tackle climate change. Just like we do here at Fifth Avenue, we will continue to nurture that girl's passion for learning. Kids come to this world ready, willing, and able to learn. And if we acknowledge that and we partner with you, that fire will never go away. That appetite to take risks, not to be afraid to make mistakes, to challenge diverse viewpoints, that inclination to listen to the other, to empathize, and to relish in the richness that diversity brings. That power to challenge, shape, and change the world through their bold and brave leadership. What a privilege I have had for over the last 3 decades. Every day I wake up waiting for that next anecdote, that next chapter, that next interaction, that next line from one of the girls, whether they're 5 years old or 3 years old or 18 years old. And I always say to myself, gosh, I'm so lucky and so privileged to be working and living in a place like this. Thank you very much. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our Director of Admissions, Lorraine Riley.
Good morning again and welcome. It's truly wonderful to see your faces here. It has been a joy these past few months to get to know you and your daughters and your family and to share this beloved school with you. 22 years ago, my parents sat in this very auditorium at an upper school open house as Mrs. Alvar, then the Director of Admissions, promised them that this school would transform their daughter's life. As I stand here today, a proud alumna, a career educator, our Director of Admissions, and mom to my very own bold Marymount girl, I can say confidently, that's my Mimi, I can say confidently that this school has and continues to transform my life. So thank you, Mrs. Alvar. As I think about my daughter's journey ahead, I can only hope that it is written as beautifully as Elizabeth's. And I have full faith that it will be, because this is what our school does. Becca, I think you said it perfectly. Our school leads with love, and excellence follows. In just a few minutes, you'll have the opportunity to meet the very people that bring this vision to life each and every day, our faculty, parents, and students. And to learn more about our academic and extracurricular programs that make Marymount so unique. This part of the open house is a choose your own adventure. On your way out, you'll receive a map to guide you through the first few floors. You'll be able to stop at different content areas and explore more about Marymount. Those seated in the front section of the auditorium will exit through this door nearest the stage, and those seated in the back will exit toward the far door, where you'll both have the opportunities to learn about our math and literacy programs, as well as STEAM and community offerings. Don't worry, you'll have the opportunity to move around the building and see every area that you would like. Our amazing tour guides and student ambassadors will be here at every stop of the way to guide you. Ms. Bergen, Ms. Alvar, and I will also be joining you downstairs in the 1027 lobby. And please, please, as you walk through our school today, ask questions. Ask questions of parents, of students, of faculty members. This is what this day is about, you learning who we are at Marymount. So thank you again for coming, and please enjoy the rest of your morning.